All right, welcome back to another episode of Cover 2 with Justin and the Preacher, Mr. Chris McCurley. How are we doing today?
It's good to be back. We had a lot of football this weekend.
Absolutely.
Starting on Friday, Creekwood with a big win. They won 14-6. Good district See, I call them districts all the time, coming from Texas. They're regions, technically.
Regions now,
so
yeah.
it's a regional win Friday night. So that was exciting. Dixon County, stuck it to Kirkwood, who was previously unbeaten. If you're a Tennessee Vols fan, not a great weekend. They got beat by Florida 29-16, and actually wasn't that close. It was probably worse than that. Vanderbilt loses to UNLV 40-37. Colorado, America's team, Dion. They beat Colorado State in 2 overtimes. Did you stay up to watch that one?
I'm going to be honest. I did fall asleep at the end, and then I woke up the next morning and was really shocked at how it ended.
Yeah, you missed the best part. So,
I know.
Yeah, so Dion continues to roll. Titans got a big win yesterday, beat the Chargers. Chargers, one of the most talented teams in the NFL, but underachieving. They beat Chargers in overtime 27-24. Then we had middle school football on Thursday. Dixon beat Cheatham 36-8. William James loses to McEwen 20-8. Burns beat Sycamore 34-7. Charlotte beat Hickman 24-16. And of course, we said Creekwood beat Whites Creek 14-6. I thought we got a couple of Creekwood players here with us tonight. We're going to introduce here in a second, but I thought Whites Creek was insanely athletic, but completely undisciplined. I mean, it was like every other play there was a flag. They would get 20 yards a pop and then lose 20 yards on a 3 or 4 penalties in a row. So it's really pretty ugly game to watch. But Creekwood played well and ended up winning that one. I didn't go to the Dixon County game. I know you were there with the governor.
Yeah, the governor came. We found out about it a few days before. I still don't know exactly why he was there, but it was cool that he was there, and he spent some time. He went to the tailgate. I'm not sure if he ate anything or not, but he was there and took some pictures with the cheerleaders, and then they took him on a gator back to the big barn that they just built.
Yeah.
He wanted to check out, I'm sure, some of the ag stuff. I know that the governor's really interested in that stuff. And he came down, and he's part of the coin toss and shook everybody's hand, and I think he got out of there after that. But it was homecoming last week, so we had all the fun festivities on Friday. Started off with a pep rally, then we had the parade downtown, and then that kind of went into the game and the coronation of the homecoming queen and her court, and of course the governor was there. And it was actually a really good night of football as well.
Who was the queen? Isa Starden, was she the queen this year?
Yes, yeah. Queen Isis.
Congratulations to her. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Kirkwood's a new school, right?
Brand new school.
Brand new school, started off 4-0.
Yeah.
And got whipped last week. So
4-1 now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 4-1 after their trip to Dixon County.
So Dixon County and Creekwood both sitting pretty good in region right now, so that's good. Got a couple of guests with us today, Justin. We got Brendan Adams and Spencer Green from the Heralded Red Hawks, Creekwood, and I have the pleasure of doing Creekwood radio every week, and I get to call these guys names. In fact, I was calling Spencer Green's name repeatedly that first game of the season, and I'm thankful that he is joining us tonight. He's got a brace on his knee. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to him, because like my son tore his ACL his senior year, and I wanted to talk to him a little bit about that, and I wanted to talk to Brendan about what I believe are some really insanely talented skill players. You got Brendan, you got Greg Forts, you got Will McKinnon, you got Jaden Elliott, Charlie McCormick, Xavier Knight. I mean, it's crazy, the skill players that we have, and it started to click Friday night with Creekwood. I said it all year. We're close to, and kind of a microcosm of it is they run this slant play to Jaden Elliott. And if he can get the ball on that slant in stride, he's gone. And they've missed it by this much all season, and I keep thinking if they connect on, well, they did twice the other night, and it went for big yardage, didn't it, guys? I mean, that was fun to watch. And so Spencer, an anchor on that defensive line. And is that right?
I was a middle linebacker. And then Brendan, of course, is one of those skill players that we've been talking about. Now, I know they call them different things than when I played. It's like A, Z, Y. Which one are you?
I play X and H. So
X and
I play
H.
Outside on the line, and then I play slot as well.
What's the main goal of X and Y? What are you running down the field? Is it mainly down the field routes or?
So like X, it can be like a little bit different stuff. It's more deeper routes, like posts, stuff like that. And then slot's more of like your like your fades, your slants, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, you had a big play the other night. That was fun. Yeah, I know that was exciting for you.
Yeah.
You know, Spencer, appreciate you coming on. How has it been coping with the injury and all that? I know it's tough, senior year, and your role kind of changes. You kind of shift now to, being a sort of a coach and supporter of everybody else. Are you out there on a day-to-day basis still? And
yes, sir. I try to get there as much as I can, and
you wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So the knee injury, it came in the first half. Is that right?
Yes,
or
sir.
Second half?
The second half.
Okay.
It was the third quarter.
Okay.
We just got off defense, and it was just the perfect. Just went to plant my leg, and then I got hit in the side, and I guess it just popped.
Could you tell it at the time? Did you know something bad was wrong?
It wasn't a really hard hit, but it hit me just right to where it knocked me on my butt. So I knew something wasn't right. When I got up to walk, my knee was just shifting everywhere, and
Yeah, I know my son, when he's toward both of his, and the second one, he just called me over. He said, I heard it. I know what I'm listening for now. And so, so talk a little bit about your rehab. You had the surgery. So ACL repair, clean surgery, everything went well there?
Yep, everything went well. They took a tendon on my hamstring and put it in place as my ACL. So
yeah,
it's doing good.
It's doing well.
Yes, sir.
And so rehab pretty rigorous?
Yeah, I have physical therapy for 4 to 6 months, they told me.
Okay.
And at first it's going to be like 3 to 4 days a week just to get the momentum back in my leg and get on my muscles working functionally again. And then I think it's going to be more like 1 a week, and then until it just gets back to full. Well,
yeah,
it won't be back to full, but
right. So how have you coped with that? I mean, I know that's tough right at the beginning. How is it for you right now?
Man, after that game, it really hurt me. I mean, I played 4 years, working my butt off to get to where I was at, and then for it to just end just like that, I mean, it really sucked. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm happy just being there and supporting my brothers on the sideline, and I still love watching them play, and I'm always going to cheer them on. So
that's the reason I wanted to have you on. I don't mean to dig up bad memories, but I did want to have you on because I have noticed that you have probably handled this better than most people would, and I really appreciate how you've connected with the team in a different way now, and your role has shifted, and you've done such a good job of being there for your brothers and helping them, and I think if anything, injuries teach us that it's a bigger than football, that there's more to it than just that. And I know you've got a lot of things going your way for the future. We were talking before we came on the air about kind of your classes, your course load, and what you plan on doing after high school, being a senior this year. So I'm sure you've thought a little bit about that. What are you doing with the boys? Are you coaching a little bit? Are you talking to them? Do they come to you and kind of ask about defenses and things like that?
Mainly, I just talk with the middle linebackers. I mean, as a middle linebacker, that was my best position by far. I mean, I understood how to play that. I mess up sometimes, of course, but I try to help with them, make sure that they're always going downhill on the play, read their guards.
Right.
And, of course, I'm not like a coach because I wasn't tearing their butt off of stuff I messed up on as well.
Yeah. So that's probably what they like.
Yeah.
So that you're actually not that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, Brendan, thank you for joining us, too. So, talk a little bit about the game Friday night. What was, that was nip and tuck for a while. I kind of feel like that's how Creekwood's going to win games now, don't you?
Well, I think if we can get everything together, I think we could definitely start passing a lot. Our guys on the outside I think, are some of the best in the state. And I think we can compete with a lot of teams if we just get that going and get our pass game going. I think we could be great. Our run game is going great, though.
Yeah.
Will, he's a great running back, always knows his reads, gets out there, and then if we just get the passing, then that's just a hard combo to stop.
Yeah, it is. And I agree with you. I think skill-wise, some of the most talented guys that I've seen, and once you get that going, it's going to be a rough some confidence built on just grinding it out, though, knowing that, hey, it's 14-6. We could have, scored a couple more times, maybe gave us a better cushion. But at the same time, I mean, we're winning these games when it's close. The Montgomery Central games, one of the craziest games I've ever seen. It's got to feel good to walk away from that going, you know what, we may not have played our best, but we found a way to win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about going forward. What do you think that team has to do to – what is it they need to improve upon?
Just time for the QB one, and then just coming together, playing more as a team, which I thought we've started to get that going. Yeah. But just making sure that we do everything how we're supposed to do it. Penalties can cost you the game. Just making sure everybody gets to where they need to go. And once we start playing together and that comes together, then I think we have a good shot this season at being great.
Spencer, talk a little bit about the defense. We've been saying on the radio that they're the bell cow. They are the identity of this team right now because they've kind of been able to dig out of holes and been able to hold the opposition and keep you guys in games. So talk a little bit about the defense and who has impressed you and what they kind of need to do going forward to keep this thing rolling.
I think the driving force for our defense has to be our D-line.
Yeah.
I mean, running plays, pass plays, they save us a bunch, and they pressure that quarterback to where some guys will probably beat some of our DBs because it just happens, but that quarterback doesn't have time where they get pressure and they make a bad throw. And it's just, that's what really helps our defensive end and win these games is our D-lineman, Nathan Lott and Xavier Knight, who just got moved to be a D-lineman this year, but he's fast and he's done great. So
yeah, he's really stepped up. He's been in the backfield about as much as the quarterback and running back have. Yeah. There have been times, even Friday night, where the ball gets handed off and he's like he could take the ball as well. I've been impressed with him, and against Lewis County, they had to double team him finally because he was getting to the quarterback every time.
Yeah, last week against White Creek, they both had a couple sacks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just saying the minimum. And the player that stands out to me on our most on defense, which I think is the leader, is probably Charlie McCormick. I mean, it's not many guys that are 5'7" and maybe 160 or something, flipping over 300-pound pulling guards, then making tackles after that.
Yeah, we call him Johnny. We call him Charlie Football on the radio because he's just a football player. I know that sounds cliche, but he has no regard for his body or anybody else's.
He's done some things that I just can't believe, like flipping over that Pearl Cone game, which was our toughest game. He probably the best linebacker play I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He flipped the guy, and the guy fell to him. And before he went down, he dived for the running back's leg, and he got the knee and tripped him up, and he jumped back on him. Our whole football team has just smells.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do remember that play. We talked about that one on the radio as well. That was amazing. I feel like every team has to have an identity. And at least for now, the identity is we're going to play really hard defense. It's going to keep us in the game. And then we're going to try to strike fast with the offense and get a play here and there to get in the end zone. That's going to be enough. But, Brendan, the offense is coming together where this could be a situation going further in the season where the offense and defense have matched up, where defense is making the plays and offense is coming back when they get the ball and striking really quickly and getting the ball to those playmakers. I know we say it on the radio all the time. When some of you guys touch the ball, you just know something's going to happen. Jaden Elliott back for a kickoff. You're just anticipating that he's going to get a lot of yards, and I think that's kind of been the missing ingredient all season. Defense has kept you in games. Offense has been a little slow starting or penalties or whatever, but starting to come together, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like our offense is definitely starting to come together. We had completions to Jay last game, and also me as well. And then I feel like we ran pretty good, Will, a few good runs. And I think everything's finally starting to come together, and we're finally starting to balance out that defense and the offense, how much they put into it, and I think it's starting to come together.
Yeah, Will has really kind of taken on that role of running back and done well with it. He bounces the ball outside really well, and when he gets to that edge, he gets going. That's been fun to watch. Talk about anybody else on the offense that's really impressed you this year so far.
One person on the offense has really impressed me. Probably say Ethan Brightman.
Yeah.
Because he didn't play last year at all, and then he comes in this year and he's just been doing great. Yeah. He had preseason, he had a few pancakes. He was doing great. And this season, he's been blocking really well. And another person, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay's just a dog, man. And anytime the ball touches his hands, you know something's happening. You know something's about that for sure.
Is there a little friendly rivalry among you guys as to who makes the most catches or who gets is it one of those where y'all jaw at each other a little bit, or is it it's all fun? But
yeah, sometimes we'll be like, man, like if somebody does something, somebody like, man, you shouldn't have done that. But like, it's all love at the end of the day. We want to see everybody do good, just how we do, and we all have a unbreakable love for each other, brotherhood.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's great about us. I think that's what sets us apart from most teams.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that, Spencer, because I've noticed that, and talk about the culture that Coach Steele has built there. Where you guys have been able to beat Dixon County several times in his tenure, and in fact, only lost to them before this season one time since he's been at the helm. Talk a little bit about Coach Steele and his philosophy and his approach to the game, and how that is been received, and how the team is doing, and how they've bonded together. It seems like you guys really play hard for him, and that you really play hard for one another.
Yeah, well, the thing about Coach Steele is that his main thing is teamwork, and that's probably the most important thing about football. Everybody has a job to do, and we all get excited on the film day when he's talking about how it's a perfect play, because we all do our one job, and we're over here making 20-yard runs, and it's just, we love him. He do anything for us, so.
Yeah, you get
even when he yells at us.
Yeah, he yells at you because he loves you. Talk a little bit about Fairview. So you got them coming up. So what do we know about them? How do you game plan for them? What are you looking at strategy wise for them on Friday night?
Well, one of my buddies, they're starting QB, Mays McCoy. He was originally supposed to be their starting QB. He's pretty good, but he got hurt, and so now I think his little brother's playing QB. I think they're all around. They're a decent team. They're not bad. I feel like we'll have to get that run game going a little bit on them, and just see where that goes. Maybe, hopefully, get the passing game developed in that game. That'd be great.
Be good for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be good for everyone.
You like that ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Spencer, you watching film and stuff with them and everything? Are you trying to break down kind of strategy and stuff like that to kind of help them know where to be on Friday night?
I still watch film. I still show up to film days every day, even when there's not much I can do.
Yeah.
I still like watching what individual players do and how they do, and I still watch film. So.
Is that something you think you might want to do later on? Does coaching bug hit you or anything now that you're kind of seeing it from a different perspective?
Well, perhaps when I'm older one day, I'd love to coach middle linebackers, because my middle linebacker coach, he's been good with me.
Yeah. He's
taught me everything I know, and Coach Smitty's just a great coach.
He is.
He'd do anything for all of us. So.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch from up in the booth, because there are times when coaches get upset, but like Friday night, there was play clock was winding down. Coach had to call a timeout. Coaches don't like to use timeouts when they shouldn't have to, and Coach Steele got a little upset.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's over, fist bump, and then we get back into it. And I feel like there's not many moments like that. I feel like it's usually encouraging and positive, and we're just going to keep fighting. I know that there's moments where it may be some yelling and screaming, but it seems like guys kind of stay focused and at the task at hand, and I think that's encouraging to see.
Yeah, you gotta be hard on people. Like that's what makes people better. That's what pushes people, is when you're harder on them. So like, if our coaches were just being soft with us, just saying like, it's all right, you got it. Or, no, you want them to be hard on you. You want them to expect you to do it right. Expect you to do it right the first time.
Absolutely.
And just get your job done and do it right. And then if you don't do it right, you make a mistake, coach is going to get onto you. But next play, you just never do it right, and you got it. And at the end of the game, everybody's excited, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. All right, so we've got a section here that we call Just for Fun, okay? So let's both of you on this one. Spencer, you first. What's your favorite subject?
Favorite subject, probably history.
History. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Brendan?
definitely history.
History, really? Is that because of the teacher or subject matter?
I just always love history. I just always love learning about the past and stuff. I just find that very interesting.
Okay.
Mine's always been the American Revolution.
Yeah.
I've always loved that stuff. So.
Cool. Okay. Favorite food, Brendan?
Favorite food, probably seafood.
Okay. Any specific seafood? Shrimp?
Probably, either shrimp or crab legs.
Yeah, that's a good meal right there. How about you, Spencer?
Barbecue food, hands down.
Oh, really?
I could probably eat that all day.
Yeah. Hey, that's both good choices. I could go with that. How about favorite song, Spencer?
Favorite song?
I could take you for a country music guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, me too.
Probably something I'm probably never get tired of. I have a lot of favorite songs, but
Yeah.
the song I won't get ever tired of is probably Brooks and Dunn, Neon Moon.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
can't ever get tired of that song.
yeah. Anything with Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Brandon?
I don't really have a favorite song, but I have a favorite artist. NBA Youngboy, he's pretty good.
What song are you listening to before the game to get you hyped? Because I was watching HBO Hard Knocks the other day, and it's Sexy Red. That's all they wanted to hear playing. I don't know. So what's the song that gets you hyped?
I'll probably say On My Side by Youngboy.
Okay.
Most people probably don't know him, but
Okay.
that's just my rapper,
Okay.
That's
what gets you going.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about favorite movie, Spencer?
Probably Talladega Nights. About Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
That's the best movie ever.
That's classic.
Or probably Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah. Both good ones. How about you, Brendan?
I'll probably say either Straight Outta Compton or Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, Boys in the Hood. Great movie.
Yeah.
All right. Who's the funniest person on the team? Y'all can collaborate on that one.
Goofball.
Who's the biggest goofball, class clown on the team? The fact that you have to think about it makes me think it's one of y'all.
No,
There's just a lot of.
Oh, there's too many
I'm
to
trying to say the
count.
biggest one.
I was probably the most serious person on the team.
Who is?
Me.
Yeah.
You're the most serious? Okay. Your business.
Charlie's quite a goofball.
Yeah.
There's definitely
Boom.
Bone's a goofball. He's that guy that's in high school, but he's already a 40 middle-aged dad.
He's an old soul.
Yeah.
Who's the best dancer on the team? Is that you, Brendan?
Oh, no, I'm not really much of a dancer. But best dancer,
Charlie can dance too.
yeah, Charlie can dance.
Okay.
I'll say Gregory.
Greg.
Greg Ford.
He's always the one dancing before the games in the middle locker room.
Okay.
I'll
All
say
right.
Gregory.
Who's the smartest?
Definitely Austin Barton.
Okay, we asked this of your teammates last time, and they all said Austin Barton. So,
Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
smart.
okay. How about most athletic? Who's got the most athletic genes on the team?
I'm giving this one to Adams right here.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I'll probably say me.
Okay, yeah. So, another good interview with these guys. Man, thank you guys so much for coming on. This has been awesome.
We appreciate you having us.
Absolutely. Let's preview Friday night. We got Dixon County is going to Clarksville. Many people believe their toughest district game. Or
I
region
think so.
game.
That's from what I'm reading out of Clarksville. That's seems to be the best team in Clarksville, and since we're exclusively playing Clarksville teams in our region, that seems like the one to beat. So we hope that the boys come ready to play Friday night, and I don't see any reason why we can't walk away with a W.
Okay. Yeah, Creekwood's got Fairview. Fairview is not a region game, so they step out of region for a game, and it's at Fairview. I know that's always a tough place to play, and I know they've always got a tough team, but we'll see what happens there. These guys seem confident. I think it's going to be a good game. I think they have a really good shot at winning that one. I said on the radio when we came to Montgomery Central that we come off the Pearl Cone game, which was really tough, and Pearl Cone's going to do that to about everybody they play, probably.
Yeah.
But after that game, said the next 3 games are winnable. Not saying they're automatic wins; they're just winnable. And so far, so good. Beat Whites Creek, beat Montgomery Central, 2-3 now, and keep that train rolling down the tracks. Titans play Sunday. Play the Browns, who are surprising so far, but we'll see. Titans, you never know what you're going to get. And I hadn't looked
You really don't.
I hadn't looked at Tennessee. I got to admit, I'm not a Tennessee fan necessarily, or I had looked at Vandy. I don't know who they got coming up, but I'm sure they're playing this week.
I think after the Florida game, they just ready to kind of move on from that. Just whoever's on the schedule, right?
Yeah, they're pretty brutal on Twitter, and I saw some video of these guys in the backyard playing, and it was an impersonation of Joe Milton. And the guy runs out for a pass, and it's thrown 100 yards over his head. That's pretty brutal. So you have one bad game, and people give up on you. But yeah, he can throw it a mile. We'll see what he does.
SEC football's tough. Yeah,
It's hard to win.
It's tough.
So, well, another great show. Thank you guys again for being on with us. Good luck to Dixon County and Creekwood this Friday night. And until next time.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.